Hey everybody, John Michael Bailey, Injury Lawyers. Welcome to the YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about angled rear collisions, either on the driver's side or the passenger side, and how that direct blunt trauma into the car, that direct force can cause direct trauma to you and cause you injuries that are going to affect your life today and most importantly in your future. And I'm going to explain to you why the insurance adjuster doesn't want you to know this information, because they don't want you to know how badly you've been hurt. Now, I've been a lawyer for over 45 years. I'm a good lawyer, but I'm not your lawyer, and I won't be unless you choose to hire us. And listen, we'd love to look at your case. We'd love to help you. We're open 24/7, 365. We never close. Our motto is, if you're hurting, we're working. Now listen, if you want us to look at your case, all you have to do is follow this link here to begin the process. Or if you're the impatient type like I am, pick up the phone and call me right now at 888-WE-FIGHT. We answer the phone 24/7, 365, and we will jump on your case and do everything we can to get you the justice you deserve for the injuries that were put upon you by somebody else. Now, this being YouTube, I got to tell you this. We know that there's a grumpy old man that works for YouTube. His name is Mr. Algorithm. He gets up mad at the world every day, and he goes to bed mad at the world every day. He's got an equally grumpy girlfriend. Her name is Miss Analytics. And we're doing everything we can to keep the both of them happy. So if you would, please like, subscribe, give us a thumbs up, share, tell all your friends about it. Send them emails, call them on the phone, send them smoke signals, semaphore flags. I don't care if you throw a rock through their living room window, but if you do, don't put my name on the rock. But anyway, like, subscribe. We're trying to get as many people to look and see this information so people know how to protect themselves. Now, here, let's get started. So the type of collision that I'm talking about today is this type, and it's the type where there's an angled collision in the rear of the car, just like this, okay? So what that impacts is the body of the car, the bumper, and it's coming in at an angle. This, what we're going over today, are chapters 11 and 12 of this book here, 2 + 2 = I'm Hurt. It's currently available on Amazon, but don't go buy it. We've done videos on every chapter, and we are working on a way to get this uploaded onto our website as an ebook. And if we do that, we will let everybody know. We're not trying to make money off of this knowledge. We're trying to get it out so everybody can share it and have it and protect themselves against the greedy insurance industry, and protect yourself and stand up for the rights and get you what you truly deserve. Now, when these accidents happen, and in this manner, it's usually because somebody has disobeyed a traffic control signal. Now, that can be any number of things. That can be a yield sign. That can be a stop sign. That can be a four-way stop where they don't obey the rules of the road. And most often, it's a traffic light. They run the traffic light, and there's this collision. So what happens to the body, and what kind of injuries can you expect to have when you see a collision like this with force? So let's start with the driver and the front seat passenger and work our way around. So because this is an angled collision, your body is going to twist and turn from the impact. If you're the driver, you're going to be sitting here like this. And because of the impact and the torque of the impact within the car, remember, that force has to go somewhere, and it's going to go into your body. So let's see what all happens. So if you're the driver on this type of impact, your body is going to twist like this, which means your shoulder is going to be caught by the restraining presence of the shoulder strap, okay? And you're going to go forward, and your neck is going to twist like this. Hopefully you don't hit the steering wheel. Hopefully you don't slip out and hit the dash, although that could happen. And then because of inertia, in other words, the force is going to go into the car and then it's going to come back out like that because of the inertia. Then you're going to come back around like this and twist and turn this way. Now let's talk about all kinds of injuries that you can get from that. Now, you're going to have the same you're going to have the same force that I just described if you're the front seat passenger. And if it's on the other side, the forces will be reversed. I'll go over that in just a minute. So you're going like this, and you're going to come back like this. So let's first start with the fact that your neck is going to move in a whipping-like motion, like this. Let me show you what that does. So when your neck moves like that, in this whipping-like motion, this up here, this color right here is your cervical spine. And when it moves like that, it is going to stretch all of these ligaments and all of these tendons all right through here. It's going to affect the discs that sit in between your vertebrae. And it's going to be a whipping motion like this, or at an angle. Then when the inertia comes back, your head and neck are going to come right back, right over here like this, and do the same thing again with a twisting motion, and it's going to affect the ligaments and muscles and tendons all through here. So this violent whipping back and forth motion, that's what the adjusters love to scoff at. It's called whiplash because of the whipping motion, but it is a very serious thing to have happen to you. Why? Because it's going to cause ligament laxity. Now, what is ligament laxity? Well, in medical records, you'll often see that referred to as hypermobility, a hyperflexion and a hyperextension. A flexion means a stretching out. A flexion means pulling back as though you're working out in the gym and you're flexing your muscles. So that's what we're talking about, extension, flexion. And when that happens, this affects all the processes in your neck. And every ligament and every tendon has a job that God specifically intended it to do when he designed our bodies. And if these ligaments and tendons can't do what they're supposed to do, you're going to experience pain. And I hate to tell you this, but it's the truth, and no adjuster will ever tell you this. If your ligaments and tendons are stretched out of shape, they never, ever, ever go back to where they were. Ligament laxity or hypermobility is a permanent injury, and for that, you deserve and you should be compensated for the lifetime injury that you're going to suffer. How many people do we know that will say, hey, you know what? After that accident, my neck has never really been the same, and I get these pains and everything like that. And, and the adjuster will tell you it's all in your head. Well, that adjuster's a liar. It's in your neck, and what you're talking about is ligament laxity. And because our ligaments and our tendons can't do what they're supposed to do, our muscles tense up to try to replace the stability that the ligaments and tendons gave to us. And that is why we have the pains in the neck, and we have the shooting pains up in our head, and we have the headaches and the neck aches that we do. This is exacerbated, which is a really long word that means this makes it worse. This is made worse in our modern society because most of us now work with computer screens. And so we're sitting up, our heads are bent down, we're doing this and everything like this. And when you have the ligament issues and the tendon issues from a ligament laxity situation, you're going to have pains all the way up through here. Now listen, it's very, very important if you want the insurance adjuster or the insurance industry to pay attention to your injury, you have to do these things. Number one, first of all, you have to know you're injured. So you have to be able to relate, and that's what we're doing here. We're teaching people how you're injured. You have to be able to relate that injury to the trauma that you suffered in that accident or car collision. The second thing you need to do is you need to report it to the doctor. And when you report it to the doctor, you need to relate it to that injury. Don't go in there and if you weren't hurt before the accident, but you're hurting after the accident, don't go in there and tell the doctor, oh, I think it might be from the accident. I'm telling you, it's from the accident. But if you go in there and you tell the doctor, I think it's from the accident, that's going to go in the medical records. And what's that insurance adjuster going to do? They're going to come back and say, well, listen, your client doesn't even know for sure whether or not that neck injury happened in the accident. So I'm not going to pay for it. I'm not responsible. We see that happen all the time. So be sure to relate it to the accident. The second thing you got to do is you've got to follow the third thing, you have to follow the doctor's instructions, which means you have to complete the treatment. If he sends you to physical therapy, you have to go And then at the end and complete all the treatment, if you are still hurting, you have to tell the doctor, because if you don't tell the doctor, he will not be able to assign an impairment rating for you, and you will not be compensated for or get a plan to handle the chronic pain that you're going to suffer. So another thing we need to look for the rotator cuff injury, either on the right side or the left side, because when that strap comes across here like this is your joint, and this is what we're talking about here. And all of these processes here in the rotator cuff are what control the movement of your shoulder up and down or back and forth. Suddenly you're going to find yourself with a lot of pain there. Sometimes these take a while to manifest themselves. So if you have any twinge of pain at all, be sure to relate that to the doctor and check yourself very thoroughly. Look and see if you have a pattern of bruising from your shoulder down to your hip. That's quite common. If you have that bruising, chances are you're going to have rotator cuff injuries, but you can have the rotator cuff injuries even without that. Now, very, very, very bad thing to happen is to have a disc issue, disc impingement from this hypermobility and this hyperextension. I'm going to show you this. This is a blow up of what the disc and the HN, or the nucleus pulposa. This is like a donut filled with jelly, and this separates and cushions the vertebrae and your spinal cord and the nerve roots. Now, the nerve roots come out of the spinal cord and go down into your body and carry the messages from your brain. If these are disrupted, then your body is not going to work like it's supposed to. These are any kind of a disc injury or disc impingement is a very serious injury. Insurance adjusters never want to hear about that. They will never tell you to go get yourself checked out for that. Why? Because they would rather steal the money that should be going to you so they can get a bonus and take a little trip and go somewhere on a beach and drink those little drinks with the umbrellas in it. I'm sorry to tell you that, but that's exactly how it works. If you have a disruption, you can see right here, there's a bulging. Some radiologists will call this a bulge. Some will call it a protrusion. If it is bad enough and you get a balloon-like thing like this coming out, that will affect your spinal cord. It'll encroach upon your spinal cord. It'll encroach upon your nerve root. That will cause you all kinds of problems. If it occurs in the cervical spine up closer to your neck, you're going to see it in your arms and your legs. You'll have numbness and tingling or a feeling of electricity. If it's down here in your lumbar and your sacral spine, then you're going to notice it at your belt line or below. Numbness and tingling going down your legs. You might find that your feet don't work like they're supposed to. You can have trouble in the bedroom, and you can find yourself losing control of your bowels, meaning you suddenly find that you've gone to the bathroom with yourself. All of these things are very, very serious. This is why it's important for you to realize that you need trauma-trained legal personnel and medical personnel to help you with your wreck. That's why we're doing all this education. Lastly, if your head hits anything or if it's shaken very, very violently, let me show you what happens in the brain. Our brain is like a big cup, which means that the top half and the bottom half of the brain sits in this cup-like structure. And if your head is violently shaken back and forth, the top half of the brain can move back and forth, forwards and backwards, side to side, but the bottom half of the brain stays where it is. And what happens when that happens is inside, in the middle of the brain, something called brain shear occurs. And what brain shear means is that all the little micro capillaries and blood vessels break open and the brain bleeds inside the brain. This is very, very serious because the brain reabsorbs the blood. It doesn't swell because it doesn't have any room to swell. So it doesn't handle internal bleeding like other parts of the body. And so when it reabsorbs the blood, it leaves holes in your brain just like Swiss cheese. Yes, just like Swiss cheese. So brain bleeds are very, very serious. Again, these are the types of things that you need to be checked out for. Now listen, nobody loves their PCP more than me, but they're not trauma-trained doctors. if you don't know a trauma-trained doctor, you don't know a doctor, don't let that stop you from getting the treatment that you deserve. At John Michael Bailey Injury Lawyers, we will get you to the doctors that you need to get to. We'll get you the treatment that you need. If you don't have health insurance, don't let that stop you either. We know doctors who understand this and will treat you on what is called a letter of protection, meaning they will wait until the case is over to get paid. So don't let not knowing a doctor, don't let not having health insurance stop you from hurting and getting treatment for that hurt. So I'm just going to mention quickly, you can also have knee injuries. I'm going to say it again. These are the injuries like this on the side of the car. If it's hit on the driver's side for all four passengers, it's just in reverse. If it's hit on the other side, all the force is going to be this way. So you're going to be looking at the right shoulder for the injuries as opposed to the left. I know this has been quick. There's a lot to cover. I encourage you, stay tuned. Please keep checking back. Sooner or later, we will get this book on the website as an ebook, so you don't have to buy it and you can just download it. So we will let you know when that happens. Again, I'm John Michael Bailey, John Michael Bailey Injury Lawyers. We would love to look at your case. It's what we do. It's our passion. We don't like bullies at all. We hate the way the insurance industry treats injured people, and we don't put up with it, and you shouldn't either. If you want us to look at your case, please follow this link. We'd love to help you. If you're the impatient type like I am, you can pick up the phone and call me right now at 888-WE-FIGHT. We never close. If you're hurting, we're working. Now, again, on the YouTube stuff, listen, we know that algorithm is a grumpy old man and his grumpy girlfriend. Analytics, they're mad at the world all day, every day. So we're doing everything we can to keep them happy. So please help us by liking, subscribing, give us a thumbs up, spread the word to your friends. We're not trying to monetize anything here. We're trying to give away knowledge so that you can protect yourself. We want you to have the money that you deserve. We don't think that adjusters need to take any trips to the beach and drink little umbrella drinks on the money that should be for you and your family. Don't do that to yourself. You deserve better, and your family deserves better. So finally, again, 888-WE-FIGHT. Please call us. We're here to help. And I will close by saying, if you can hear my voice, I wish you peace and joy. And as always, I hope to talk to everybody real soon. 888-WE-FIGHT.